The corner, the corner, the corner.
Hey, welcome. Come on into Cousin Ed's Corner. This podcast is where you'll find real, authentic conversation, organic conversation, unscripted, unfiltered conversation, like you're home with your cousin. It's all about life. It's about finance. It's about spirituality. It's about love and everything in between. I'm your host, Cousin Ed. I'm excited to bring you along on this journey. So sit back and listen in as we dive into a wide range of topics. I have some diverse guests coming on with an array of thoughts and opinions. My goal is to create a space all for us to connect and communicate. It's not really about me. It's about the community as a whole. Let's enjoy it. Let's sit back. Let's think about our past. Let's move into our future. It's about
The corner, the corner, the corner. So no matter how you cut it or slice it, we're all here together. I'm just here to give you a piece of my heart, my mind, my soul, and my mentals. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another episode of Cousin Ed's Corner. The corner, the corner, the corner.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. What's going on, fam? What's going on, fam? It's your boy, Cousin Ed. Yes, indeed. We are back with a breaking show. I say breaking as in news when they break in to the regularly scheduled programming. I think today we needed to have this show. We needed to put this show out again. It is a classic replay from a conversation I had with my mother about the memories of 9/11. I think it has been one of the most tragic times in our society. Us as a nation, us as human beings, as a race, as a whole, as community, it's just so tragic. So we want to remember this, right? Want to remember this. That there, so many lives were lost, so many lives were changed by these events, and I think just remembering them and memorializing them gives us a moment to reflect. With the climate of our country right now, I think that so much is going on that we shouldn't need tragedy to bring us together. And it's sad. It's like when you go to your family member's funeral and that's the only time you get together. We shouldn't need tragedy to bring us together. We are one mankind, a one human race, right? Human beings, right? We shouldn't be fighting against each other. We shouldn't be killing each other. We shouldn't be trying to take advantage of the least of thee. There's so many things that we do that, it's a sad state, and many of us are left vulnerable to it. By decisions that others make, we're left vulnerable to it. So listen to this episode, listen to this classic replay. Please be sure to send in your memories of 9/11. Where were you at on this day? What do you remember when you heard what was going on? Did it stop you in your tracks? What was going on in your life the days after? Please be sure to go to cousinedscorner.com. That's cousinedscorner.com. At the top of the page, you can hit leave voicemail. I want to hear where were you on this day, right? You can send me a voice note on any social media platform or at 762-333-2032. That's 762-333-2032. I love to hear how has it affected your life? Did you lose someone? Did you know somebody that was actually affected by it? What have you done since then? How do you remember today? All those things may help somebody else get through those times, those memories. those hurt feelings. So let's share those with others. Let's document it. I love each and every one of you. Please be sure to let me know what you think of this episode and all other episodes of Cousin Ed's Corner. I appreciate you. Have a great one. Peace.
What's going on, fam? What's going on, fam? It's your boy, Cousin Ed. Cousin Ed's Corner back at you again. No matter how you cut it or slice it, we all here together. I'm just here to give you a piece of my heart, my mind, my soul, and my mentals. As I always say, it's a mouthful. Late show for a Monday motivation, but wanted to come at y'all today and just talk to y'all about some things from this past weekend. It was 9/11 20-year anniversary, and I can't even say anniversary for something like that. So just memorial. So 20 years since 9/11, and wanted to talk to y'all about just the memory behind 9/11. I have a guest with me. Before I bring my guest on, you can see I'm kind of trying to work through this, but before I bring my guest on, let me go ahead and big up my big brother, Mr. Moody. Without him, I wouldn't be podcasting now. So big up Mr. Moody, Mr. Moody's Neighborhood, Indian Radio, Jeff is Moody, Beat Break Radio, all of the call letters I can put out there. Mr. Moody is definitely a professional in this industry. And like I said, without him, I wouldn't be doing it. So that's my big brother. Also, big up my trade club, Global FX Trade Club. I'm rocking with them right now so hard. So wherever you hear this show at, if you want to learn how to trade, you want to be with some people of integrity, please definitely hit me up. And as I always say, do not call, but text me. You can text me at 762-333-2032. That's 762-333-2032. But as you know, I don't want to stay long. I want to get this out quick and, give you back your day, give you back your time. And thank you for your listening. So, my mother's here. The queen is here. So for those of you who call me Cousin Ed, she calls me son. This is my queen. This is who I cherish the most. My first love before loving any other person. Who gave me love before I even knew who I was. My mother's on the show today. First time having her on a show. So I want to welcome my mother to the show. Mom, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
All right. So she's kind of shy. She's sitting back. I asked her to sit up some so y'all can hear her clearly. But I want to talk to her about 9/11, and I might start doing a series. And like I said before, whenever I do a show or whenever we do a show, I know for myself and Mr. Moody, more of this is like therapy for us. It's things that's on our mind. We have a chance to get them out onto a digital platform, but also to share it with y'all. So thank you for allowing us to come into your cars, your phones, and your households, and your Alexas, whatever you're playing this on. Thank you for allowing us to come in there. But it's our therapy. So I was looking at all the memorials for 9/11 and just remembering that time. And I posted in a couple rooms that I'm in, a couple groups that I'm in, about my memory of 9/11. And it was kind of difficult for me every year is kind of difficult, but this year was a little more difficult. Just thinking back on 9/11 and remembering, it was 2 days before my grandmother died. 2 days after my grandmother died. And for me, I went to go see her. Then I'm in Georgia. She was in South Carolina. I drove 2.5 hours. She was in the hospital. And as I walked in, my grandmother passed away. She was taking her last breath. My family came down the next day. My father and my aunts. Some of my aunts already stayed in South Carolina. And we was all in the house that morning getting stuff ready for just to move throughout the day and get our stuff together to go up to the hospital, go to the funeral home, and there's different things you have to do in that time in your life when you have to bury a loved one. But we're sitting at home, and my aunt was in the kitchen cooking, and we're at my grandmother's house. So it's the main house for the family. We're at my grandmother's house, and we're watching Good Morning America. We're from New York, so big up New York, but
Good Morning America is our staple. It's taped in New York, so that's what we watch. And we're all, as a family, watching it because that's what we do. And the first plane goes into the building. Oh boy, what just happened? What the heck just happened? We all looking around like, this is crazy, man. Somebody, you would never imagine that a terrorist just flew a plane in the building. You think something happened accidentally. So you're looking around, we're looking around like, man, that's crazy. And the buildings are standing, right? You see the smoke, you see everything. The plane did not come through. And you're just like, okay, everybody on that floor, yes, they're, God rest their souls. The floors above, you're hoping they can get out. The floors below, you're thinking about evacuation. And they're reporting the story. No one knows the full story except for the government, right? Except for air traffic control. So we're all sitting there, watching the TV, sitting on the edge of our chair, and the next plane, you see it coming, and it goes into the building. You can't have two accidents. So now this is intentional. The TV reporters are now talking about it. They're saying it's intentional, acts of terrorists. They're scrambling jets and everything else. And you're watching these buildings start to smoke and simmer. Now this is what most of America is watching at the same time, right? I'll say 99% of America probably watching the same thing at the same time. Kids in schools, they turn on TVs. Family members other family members are also watching Good Morning America, watching every news channel now showing this. The president is sitting inside of a classroom looking like I'm not even going to say what he looks like, but I'll say clown. But there are a number of people that were directly affected by it. So I'm going to tell my account how I was directly affected by it. And that's why I have on the show today. At that time, to get out of New York, for my mother to get off work, she had to go to the World Trade to go to LaGuardia to get the plane. Right? So she just got off work that morning. She worked for the post office, got off work, was going to fly down to South Carolina for her mother-in-law. So I'm giving y'all some back history now. Like I said, I won't try to keep you long, but I think in documenting these things, or just life, and I'm gonna start trying to do this a little more, documenting things in life. But in documenting this stuff, we can always go back to it, and your kids and your grandkids and everybody can actually hear these things one day. So at this time, my family's sitting around, and most of my family is down south already, most of my father's side. And this is my father's mother, but my mother was my grandmother's girlfriend. That was her girl. Even though they were separated, divorced, that was her girl. So she was coming down to pay her respect to a lady that she loved. And for me, I'm trying to reach her because I know where she's going. Think about how difficult that is. Now, and you don't want to minimize other people's tragedy and other people's story, but you want to also acknowledge your own. But let me stop where I'm at and let me identify other people's story, right? My story is nowhere near somebody who had somebody on a plane at that time. My story is nowhere near somebody who had somebody working in the World Trade at that time. So I can sit here and tell you my story, and you may say, oh, that's so sad. I got to acknowledge what other people went through. So even though my story may touch, it may feel something to me, but I got to think about how lucky I am and how fortunate I am. I had majority of my family already in South Carolina. My one aunt who worked in Jersey at the time, she would go from Brooklyn to down Wall Street, for those who know the area, and go from Wall Street across the ferry. So she was already in South Carolina, luckily. And like I said, the rest of my family mostly was already in South Carolina due to death of my grandmother. So I want to acknowledge before going further that what I went through is nowhere near what some of the other people went through. So getting back to my story, and like I said, I don't want to stay long, but I gotta tell this story. So I'm frantically thinking now. My mother's coming today on a plane. Okay, it's too early. She didn't make the. She wasn't at the airport yet. She wouldn't be on that plane. So I know she wasn't on the plane. But I can't reach her, and I know she had to go that direction. Every phone line in New York at the time was beeping busy. No matter who you call, it was beeping busy. And I can't reach her. So I can only imagine where she was, what she was doing. If she even made it to World Trade at that time to transfer over to go to the airport, I don't know. And not only I'm dealing with my grandmother passing, I'm dealing with a house full of people who are from New York, who live and breathe New York. The World Trade is something we visit, something we see, something that's a staple of our city. And you just seeing it smoldering right now. This is before it even fell. Don't forget it, for those who are old enough and those who have seen the footage, it stayed there for a while. It was swaying and you saw it. And before the other plane even hit in Virginia, I mean, this building, they showing this building is smoldering. And to see the building collapse, to see the ashes, to see the smoke, to see the sheer chaos, and to only imagine how many souls just perished. To think about the firefighters, think about the policemen, EMTs all running the building to save people. I can only imagine standing in the staircase saying, keep going, keep going, keep going, get out, get out, get out. Trying to push people down the staircase because that's the job you do. And to risk your life for other lives, other people you don't even know. All to see it go down in seconds. But a lot of those stories are documented. I just wanted to document my story. So I wanted to bring my mother on this show and talk about, it's probably some things we've never talked about. How was it to be in New York at that time? How was it to experience that? Now, I will give some precursor to things that I know, and I'll ask these questions, but my mother's sitting next to me, so I know she's safe. I know she's okay. But there's a bunch of families, thousands of families that are not okay. So on this I can't say anniversary, on this memorial, I want to make sure we remember that. And no matter what's going on in our country, no matter what you may think of some other races, or what they may even think of you, they're all human beings. All human beings. Some things you don't wish upon your enemy. And to die in a tragedy like that, I don't think I wish upon my enemy. Not say I don't think, I know I wish upon my enemy. So that's the first part of the segment. I promise I won't keep her long. For those who, nobody can see this, but right now the tears are flowing down both of our eyes. Just remembering that time. So I'm not going to try to keep us long. I'm just going to ask a few questions and get out of here. But I wanted to document this. I wanted to be able to give it to my kids, and they give it to their kids, and they give it to their grandkids. Because certain stories we don't have in our families, and we don't have storytellers to tell the stories anymore. So when somebody asks, what were you doing on this date? Or what was grandma doing on this date? Were you in New York on this date? It's documented. It's documented. So this is my documentation. All right, fam. Let me redo this now. Let me redo this. It's your boy Cousin Ed. All right, I got the Queen with me. I got my mother with me. Mom, how you doing?
Fine, and you?
All right. For those who don't know my mother, and some of y'all, a lot of y'all who listen do. It's my mom. It's my queen. They call her Jen. They call her Jen. Okay. I'm gonna say that's my Jim, but they call her Jen. So Mom, that morning, going from when you clocked out that morning, can you explain? Can you revisit that morning?
Yes. Once I clocked out, I went to the IRT, the number 3 train, and knowing I had to go to Brooklyn first and then back to the World Trade Center. And on the train, a man ran in and he stated a plane just hit the Twin Towers. And I'm like, he's crazy. And then they announced it after he ran in, say a plane hit the towers. And the system was going to be shut down. I went one more stop and everybody had to get off. All you can see was nothing but a whole lot of smoke coming your way. People were scared, screaming, crying, and said they can't believe what just happened. And I'm like, oh my God, I was on my way there. Nobody knew that I would have been there because I wanted to come to the funeral. Nobody knew this was going to happen to the world. People were scared. I was scared. And you just see the dust coming at you. But people just kept on walking and saying they couldn't believe it. Some people didn't have on shoes. They just was in a daze. And it took a long time to get home and a long time to get in touch with my son. But I made it. But I feel sorry for the people who's out there who didn't make it. And every time you see it, you get sad, you cry. There's nothing you can do about it. Each year is the same. Because somebody's heart is really broken. But I thank the Lord that a lot of people did make it. But sorry for the people who didn't. And that's my little say-so. But all you could see was smoking people. And I thank God that a lot of them got out. Thank you. Goodbye.
No. We're not done. I appreciate you, and I appreciate you coming on and speaking to the audience. But so a lot of people who listen are not from New York. So the IRT, the number 3, none of that they know about. So my New Yorkers, big up. But they don't understand the distance, how far you were away from your destination. So if you had to describe the New York City, what stop, what station, what area were you in when you had to get off the train?
Oh, I was in Brooklyn, Court Street. But the train, when it first stopped, it stopped at Bowling Green. That's part of the World Trade Center area, a block away from the World Trade. And then it just made that last stop into Court Street.
So you were on the Bowling Green side, on the Manhattan side, World Trade side, when the man ran in.
Yes.
And another backdrop, now this is organic, guys. When I told you our podcast is organic, and I just had my hair just rose on my neck. Where'd you used to work at, Mom?
I used to work 1 World Trade Center, the 33rd floor.
So,
but I took the test for the post office and passed, and I left the World Trade Center.
So you used to work there?
I used to work there.
33rd floor?
33rd floor.
You used to go there every day?
Every day.
You can't make this stuff up, guys. When I do Testimonial Friday, and not me. Let's take it away from me. It's not about Cousin Ed. When people give their testimony, and you look around and you're amazed by their testimony, you really got to see what people came through and went through and where they come from. And sometimes you don't get to hear their story. I don't mind being vulnerable. I don't mind sharing myself with my audience. I don't mind sharing myself with my friends. I don't mind sharing myself with my family. Because honestly, I'm truly grateful. When you look back on your life and you think about how many times, he saved you. He kept you from that wreck. He kept you from an addiction. He kept you from the hands of harm. You got to be grateful. And you shouldn't have ever be ashamed to tell your story. This is something right here that I will share with my kids. Thank God for the cloud. This will not go anywhere. This will be here forever. You know how you say time capsules you put in the ground? This is recorded. It's not going anywhere. This is history. When I thought about doing this show, I said I don't know I know most of the story. I'm gonna go back to her in a minute. I know most of the story, but when my kids ask me, where was I at and what was going on, I want to have it documented, and I challenge y'all to do it. I please document it. We got cell phones now. You can do this so easy. Share your memories with your family. Because you don't know when that day will come when you're not here. So all my shows I have recorded, I share them for that reason. So let's get back to my mom. I got to sit in here. I know she's going to kill me after this. She didn't expect this. But the closeout. I'm not the closeout. I got a couple more minutes here. Listen. So, Mom, you leave. You used to work there, right?
Yes.
Did you have any friends that still work there?
No, they got transferred out.
Okay, good. Thank God. So I didn't know that. So thank God. Okay, so you're at Bowling Green, which is, for people who are New Yorkers, not right under, it's a little bit under World Trade, right?
Yes.
The train is luckily able to go to another stop and stop everything, because actually no other trains could leave out of Manhattan. Am I correct?
Right.
So you get off downtown Brooklyn and you have to walk. So hold on, guys. I'm playing this out in my head. I'm listening to this and playing this out in my head. You see smoke in Brooklyn?
Yes.
Guys, listen to this. You have two bridges. You have the Brooklyn Bridge. You have the Manhattan Bridge. It's across the waters. You see smoke in Brooklyn.
You can see smoke in Brooklyn. It was so heavy. People they just couldn't believe it. Just look up in the sky and it was just foggy up there. Nothing but smoke.
So when you get off, you said Court Street?
Yes, Court Street. It's one stop from the World Trade area.
When you get off in Brooklyn, the bridge is there also.
Yes.
So were people coming from the bridge or going to the bridge? Were people going to help? Or people? Do you remember any of that?
No, all you can see is just people just standing in the street looking up. Mm-hmm. Nobody was going nowhere. You know,
Okay.
people just couldn't believe what was happening.
Okay. So at this point,
The courthouse stuff all was closed down already. They shut everything down that's dealing with federal and government.
so at this point now, I know for myself, I'm calling because I know she had to go through there, and I know she had to go back that direction to get to the plane, but her plane was later that day. So I'm trying to call, beat everybody I call in Brooklyn. Everybody I call, no matter what, the lines are busy. So now you have to decide what. I know in New York we have the jitney cabs or the vans. Was anybody running? I already know the answer, but was anything running to get you home?
They was running, but most of that ended up walking all the way home because couldn't get no rides. Everybody was getting in, pushing, and just wanted to get out from downtown. The buses was full to the door. We couldn't get in, and I had a suitcase with me, so that was out. I just ended up walking.
With a suitcase?
Yes.
From downtown Brooklyn?
Yes.
Guys, these are stories. I mean, I don't know. These are stories you may hear somewhere. I know you may hear the stories of people who were actually affected in the building, family members. This is a story that I wouldn't hear anyplace else. Of people, somebody else that was affected by it. So you make it to your building.
Yes. Took a long time, but I made it.
Okay, and what was it like in your neighborhood, your block, walking down your street? What was it like?
No, people were just sitting around talking about what had happened, and that was it. And wonder, where were you? And I was saying, like, I was on my way to the World Trade. That's where I was at. The only person you really know was a lady named Heather, was my friend, and she was worried that I didn't call, and she wanted to know where I was at.
So when you got there, she was there?
Yes. And very upset.
All right. So let's wrap that part of it up. And guys, I'm sorry it's so long, but it's documented. This is history right here. If you turn it off, it's on you. So okay, we finally speak. We're happy that everything is well. We said, you're not gonna be able to make it out of New York right now. All flights are shut down. I'm in South Carolina dealing with burying my grandmother. You're in New York. What is it like for the next 2 days, 3 days, a week in New York City?
Oh, people were so friendly among one another. It was no animosity, but some of the people got angry because they know that the Arabs, how you say it?
Arabs,
Arabians, they took it out on them. And that was horrible because they felt that because of them, they took down the World Trade. They didn't want to shop at these stores. They want them shut down. They really wanted to kill those people because they was really angry in New York at that time towards those people. But a lot of stores did shut down because they was afraid for their life now, which they had nothing to do with it because some of them were born in New York. But they took it out on them anyway.
So, were there any kind of? I know certain things start opening back up, and certain kind of, and it's probably 2 days after, 3 days after, probably nothing was open, but train system shut down. You couldn't go to work, correct?
I couldn't go to work.
Okay, so that means the mail was shut down.
Everything was shut down for a day.
No mail.
No mail, no nothing. They just kept everything still, trying to figure out what was going on.
Okay. So the train you took to go to work was going through there. How did you get to work when everything opened back up?
Oh, I would just get on the train and took the train like I usually do. They didn't have the train going back to the World Trade Center anymore. They stopped that. They stopped it for over two weeks or 3 weeks because of the smell of human beings deteriorating beneath the ground. It was really horrible. A bad odor that lasted a long time. So they rerouted the trains that used to go under the World Trade. So the other trains you could take, but you couldn't go that way.
You couldn't get no more route. Okay. So you got back to some kind of normalcy, going to work, and how was it at work at first when you first got back there? How was the...
One of my bosses in the post office, he lost his wife. He couldn't find her, and he took off. It took him over a week to find his wife, and she was in some hospital. But she was caught up into the World Trade, but she got out.
Mm-hmm.
So that was that with him. But mostly everybody at work, they never mentioned if they lost anyone in the World Trade or they didn't know anyone. They were just like, let me mind my business.
So everybody kept it in?
Everybody kept it in and kept on doing what they had to do.
So I say people, I say us, I say audience, I think a lot of people may be still dealing with a lot of this, and people say PTSD ain't real, get over it, and they say it about a lot of things, right? Just get over it, man. You know you're okay. But the more and more I live, not the more and more I listen, the more and more I live, the more and more I see how things affect each and every individual. And sometimes we hold things in that maybe you need to talk about. Maybe you need, and nothing's wrong with counseling. Nothing wrong with, and this is my therapy right here. To tell the truth, I appreciate y'all listening. This is my couch. A lot of stuff that I say and do on the shows for years, is my therapy. So, but I'm pretty sure, even with what we're talking about right now with my mother, there's so many stories that's like it or even worse. This 1 step worse, 1 inch worse, 1 minute worse, 1 life worse. It just, I mean, we go around each and every day and not think about the people around us and not think about the situations around us. And I think I've shared some different shows and people who have overcome adversity, but we got to remember that we're grateful, we're blessed, highly favored, and all these things are key phrases, but it's true to make it through for the next day. I'm gonna wrap it here. I think that I painted a good. I didn't paint a picture, but I think we had a chance to talk about this in great detail. I think we documented it pretty well. I know your grandkids may have more questions after they hear this, and maybe we do a part 2. But I wanted to talk about this. I wanted to hear it. Refresh my memory after 20 years of living it, and just talk about it from somebody who's actually there. I can actually bring my father on. So he just lost his mother at that time, and he worked for Con Edison Electric Company. And once he got back to the city, he had to go work over there at the World Trade, trying to get the power back up. Imagine all the people that had to deal with that. You have dead people. You have people that died, not dead people. You have people that died, bodies that are under you, and you're trying to get power back up. How does that affect you? People from his job, and including him right now, still have cases with OSHA, dealing with health issues. You got firemen, numbers and hundreds of firemen that cancer, dealing with that. This thing is big. This thing is really big. Listen, guys. Like I said, you can reach out to me.
Please do not call me. I will not answer, okay? Text me. 762-333-2032. 762-333-2032. I won't stop podcasting because, like I said, it's my therapy. Hopefully y'all enjoy. Hopefully I inspire y'all. Hopefully these shows are truthful to y'all. Hopefully it sheds light on just certain things you may be going through. Maybe it's a voice for you, but it's definitely my voice for me. It's your boy Cousin Ed. There's nothing you can do about it. I love each and every one of y'all. God bless y'all, and God rest the souls that perished that day.
Good Morning America was in progress in the East Coast and the Midwest, but we're joined by the entire network just to show you some pictures at the foot of New York City. This is at the World Trade Center. Obviously a major fire there, and there has been some sort of explosion. We don't fully know the details. We just saw another plane coming in from the side, so this looks like it is some sort of a concerted effort to attack the World Trade Center that is underway in downtown New York.
Thank you for listening to Cousin Ed's